Hey guys, so I'm here to tell a few stories about my life and share some experiences and whatnot. So for example, let's just talk about today, trusting the process. That's my main topic today. So, for example, today, this morning, I got ready, packed some fruit, got all my equipment and everything ready to go to the community pool in our gated community, and my code usually works, but it wasn't working. So I was getting upset, and then I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna look up beaches near me, and I know the beaches that we have in Nevada are very rocky, so there's not really sand. You have to have a boat to get to it. So, I was really upset with the community pool not working. So I looked up a beach near me in Boulder, and here I am. And honestly, you just gotta trust the process, man, because it is way better than just, the gated pool that's probably nasty. These views are beautiful here with the mountains and everything, and it's much more peaceful than that community pool. So right when I was driving down the roads, which I'll show you the video right next to me, it was beautiful, and I felt at ease. I was like, okay, I gotta calm down. This is, I guess, better, So here I am, and I want to speak to you guys about trusting the process. So from my last video, if you guys know, I had moved here from Indiana, which is across the country, to Nevada, and it was a really difficult trip because I was debating if I should even come. Me and my partner moved out here together, and I was 50-50 if I should come or if I should just stay back home. And then I thought about it, and I said, what is there for me back at home that there isn't anywhere in the States, in the United States? It's the same shit. It's the same stuff, I should say, because I don't know if YouTube's going to blur that out. So I moved here. It was really hard getting a job, but I finally got one, and it just, trust the process. It all worked out in the end. And yeah, in the moment it sucks, but little by little it all starts falling into place like a puzzle. So I'm in Nevada, and honestly today these views just really make me appreciate everything and trusting the process. Like, what would life have been like if I would have stayed in Indiana working at the hospital? Like, I was miserable. I hated working sometimes the way the schedule would play out 7 days a week. And yeah, that's honestly miserable, and you couldn't even see because there was no windows where I was working in the hospital, and I would work swing shifts, so I would just be getting off so late, and then, going to bed when I get home really late at midnight, and then waking up and basically going back to work. And I really hated that part of my life, and I wanted to get out of it. And I had the opportunity to move with my partner to Nevada, and I was really against it. My family was against it. And then my partner and my great-grandma told me, why not go? You have nothing to lose. You're young. You have time. So I took that risk, and I came here. And at first I hated it. I couldn't even get a job, which I'm surprised. I printed my resume, and I did the old school way with, going back door to door basically to companies and trying to apply and give them my resume like a professional would do, and no one would hire me back, not even a bar. So I was really at my lowest point with moving here. And then now here I am, and I held the job. I'm doing good. I'm actually able to get back on my feet again and start saving money and building a relationship with God, which is very new for me. I didn't grow up religious. I never even went to church. And I've been going down that path with God and finding myself. And honestly, this trip changed me. And I'm not trying to tell you guys, okay, just quickly do something. But, just screw it, Just what do you have to lose? I feel like we're all stuck in this world of, oh, what if? But why not take the risk? Because once you're older, you're going to regret not doing what you always wanted to do when you were younger. You're going to be on your deathbed thinking, man, when I was 22, I should have moved across the country, or I should have took that trip, I feel like in America, we're so stuck in that mindset of saving money and never actually living life, and I'm still saving money. Me and my partner are learning to save money, because it's kind of hard, Everyone our age that's in their 20s, loves to party and whatnot, but we don't really do that. We're kind of like homebodies, and I know there's a lot of you guys that correlate to us. We like to go hiking and explore nature, which is very different than a lot of people that I grew up with in high school. So you just got to trust the process, man. Like, I see everyone having kids my age and getting married really early, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would love to do that too, but just don't feel like you're so behind. And I feel like I'm overcoming that problem of thinking like that. Every day I was like, oh shit, and like everyone's getting married and engaged and having babies, but I'm only 22, I got time, and I'm just going with the flow, and I'm going to try to travel the world next year with my partner and possibly go to Greece for my first time out of country. And yeah, I'm just trusting the process, man. I feel like there's so much stress on us, especially this generation and our age. And especially with the way prices are too, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. And I've been really down, but I'm glad I'm on this journey now. And I know you guys could probably relate, especially people my age and even older. I mean, shit. So here we are, enjoying this beautiful view at the lake, watching the waves, looking at the mountains. It's great. So my keynote to you guys is just take the risk. Even if it's, for example, I'm all about trying to save money, especially at my age, but even if you want to go grab a Starbucks coffee, or not even Starbucks, just a nice coffee from a coffee shop, just do it for yourself. Like, you got to live life like it's your last day, and I really swear by that. You got to enjoy yourself, but not to like crazy extent where you're, spending hundreds a day. But if you really want something, just get it, grab it, don't do that to yourself. And I feel like I've done that a lot in life. And even today, when I was at that, this is stupid, this story, but it makes so much sense. But like when I was at the community pool in my neighborhood, I felt like I was just giving up, something so small. I was like, you know what? Screw this. I just got everything packed. I got my bathing suit on. I'll just go back home, But then I was like, you know what? No, I want to go to the beach, and I'm going to do that. So I can't hear my mouth. So I looked up beaches near me, and I drove 30 minutes away. And honestly, right then and there, in that moment, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, I'm so glad I chose that decision not to just stay at home on the couch on this beautiful sunny day. It's 90 degrees right now in April in Nevada, and back at home it's like 30 degrees. It's just horrible weather back at home. But I'm just so glad I did that. I took that risk. Sorry if I'm babbling on. Thank you guys for staying, watching if you still are. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I'm just trying to tell you guys, I'm only 22, but I feel very mature for my age, obviously, but I'm just going through the motions of life and taking this journey one day at a time, and just go for it. Even maybe if you want to ask out that girl or ask out that guy, just do it. What do you have to lose, You only got this one life to live until I know some people have different beliefs, until you go to the next life. In this life, right now, you only got one chance. Just do it. Ask out that girl. Go grab that coffee. Go to the beach. Don't give up. Just do it. What do you have to lose? I think we're just so scared of, what is someone going to think about us? Or what if that happens? Screw it. If it happens, everything happens for a reason, It's a life lesson. And yeah, it's a scary move doing some things. It's a 50-50, 50 it could go good, 50% it could go horrible. But I believe God always protects you, and if it was meant to happen, it was meant to happen, and everything happens for a reason. I always said, I got so many random tattoos when I was younger. Like, if I could remove all of them, I would, But if I could have something tattooed on me, for sure it would be the quote, everything happens for a reason, I'm going to get a little bit personal with you guys about my life, but, I lost my parents at a really, really young age, and I was in elementary school when I lost both of them, and I grew up with my grandmother, and she raised me, but I didn't really always have that emotional backbone, like support. So I grew up kind of on my own, emotionally learning things about life. And everything happens for a reason. Like, I wish my parents wouldn't have passed away, but I wouldn't change anything that's happened in my life. It shaped me to the person and the woman I am today. It made me hard, and God gives strength to those type of people that have been through so many difficult things with, their parents passing away at a young age, or their parents divorcing, or just stuff happening to them, even like sexual abuse, whoever goes through that. He is always there to protect you and build you into a stronger person, and I really believe in that. So I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm just talking to you guys, but I feel like I've been through so much, and I don't give myself enough credit, and I'm sure you guys can relate too. And I always hold myself back, Sometimes I don't even, this is personal, but sometimes I don't even think I'm good enough sometimes, And it's hard, but each day I'm learning, I'm grateful for living, God definitely has a journey for me to go, or I wouldn't be here. So I'm just saying I'm with you guys, and I love you guys, and I support you guys on your journey, and I hope if you guys are still watching this video, you just take that chance, Who cares what happens? You're still living, and I'm sure you guys who are watching have been through a lot of hard times in your life. We all have, but you're still here, and you still have overcame everything you've been through. Even the worst things you've been through, you still are making it every day, and you're still living, you're still breathing. And life's beautiful, and we got to really appreciate it. I feel like I never understood it until now. Like, I have so much more life to live, and I can't wait to live more and more each day. And I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to have found my partner. Getting a little bit personal, in high school, I had, I think, an emotional breakdown. I buzz cut my hair. I literally just took clippers and shaved it off. I had so many random tattoos that, I'm stuck with for life, which it is what it is. And then I had so many piercings that were just random. And I looked like a mess. And, I found my partner, and he really helped me find myself, honestly. I found myself on my own, but he really helped me learn a lot about life. And, I'm very, very grateful for him. And I know there's probably some person in your life right now that you could think of that really helped you experience life and guide you, And really take your time and appreciate them and tell them that, Don't be afraid. Give them a phone call. Don't text them, Texts don't really mean much. It does and it doesn't. But give them that phone call. Tell them, I'm very grateful for you, and I love you, and thank you for all you've done for me. It was really hard for me even speaking to my family about personal things. I didn't really have that good of a connection with them, but I started just reaching out to them more and making that phone call to the family that I have left. I've lost so many family members to horrible things like drugs, and it was very drastic and unexpected, and you never know how much time you have with someone. And just shoot them a text, shoot them a call. I'm telling you, they could be taken away from you very quickly, and I'm sure a lot of you have been through that too. So thank you for staying with me rambling. I just really want to tell you guys I love you, and I'm here with you on this journey, and I'm here with all of you guys, and I really appreciate you guys for listening. Just do that crazy thing you want to do, and just say screw it, You only live one life. And after I just recorded that first segment to you guys, I just opened Facebook, and I seen someone post a comment saying, the scariest place to be is in the same place forever. You got to grow. And I 100% believe in that. And then I also just got on my Bible app. I get a verse a day through the Bible, and it said, God is with you through everything, and he gives you strength. So that kind of relates to my video of just take the chance. God is always having your best interest. He's always helping you out, no matter what it is. Amen to you guys.